here. My guest today is a talented singer-songwriter, musician, great with a guitar, and a record producer all rolled in one. Now, coming from a family of balladeers and OPM royalties, as they say, he has distinguished himself as an experimental artist who makes original, proudly Filipino music with his melodic alternative rock sound and nostalgic lyrics. He is currently living the dream in Hollywood, California. Long story short, he's my son, the Prince of Pops, Robin NIEVERA. I am Mark NIEVERA, his father, and this is ANC Conversations. Hey, Robin.
Hello, Martin. What do you... Weird.
How are you, son? I knew this would be weird, and I wanted it to be weird, but I've been wanting
It's about time. You've been doing the show for how long?
Not long enough, really. It used to be another show, but that's another story. All I know is we've been trying to get you, and you are so in demand when it comes to this. No, to these new
wrong.
The new normal type shows, these virtual things that you're doing, fundraisers galore. But the first question I always ask my guests here on ANC Conversations is, how are you during this whole lockdown in California? Was it any different from what we went through in the Philippines?
I honestly, it's a good question because people always ask, like, you and Mom consistently text me about but it's fine because on the news you guys at the time would see a lot of riots, would see that we were like the heart and soul of where COVID was.
Yes.
And to be very honest with you, the first week of lockdown, which may have been March, Pop, it was kind of scary because no one knew what was happening. We really couldn't leave our houses. If we went grocery shopping, it was very difficult also to have deliveries because no one we wanted to get our own food, right? We don't want someone to put their germs on it. So we'd go to grocery stores and there would be lines. It would be like Disneyland, like long lines because only 10 people are allowed inside the warehouse. So that only lasted like a week. The week after that, it wasn't back to normal, social distancing. Everyone got it. Wear the mask, wash your hands. So people are very helpful here though. You would see it on like the news, like we can't go inside restaurants.
Right.
We have to, it's either they're closed or you just take takeout. Just lately we could eat outside, but I think the rule is they turned it back off again. I got a gym membership after so long, and after a week of going to the gym, they closed the gym again.
But right.
Bye. So
that's it for you.
That. I know.
But in keeping busy during this lockdown of yours, I understand that you've learned to cook. We know that NIEVERAs are fond of eating. We're the eaters, not the cookers. And
absolutely.
what made you decide to cook? Survival?
Survival. It was really a goal. Like when I said, when I go to the States, I would like to learn how to cook. And the first thing I taught myself was obviously adobo. And I made it so salty, so garlic, and it was really bad. It was really bad the first time around. But after like the 10th time, I asked a lot of questions. I watched a lot of YouTube. And I have a decent adobo now.
I know you also make, people may not know this, I may be revealing one of your trade secrets, but one of his go-to things to make is fried sinigang chicken. Is that how you say it?
I say sinigang fried chicken. Any way you say it is fine.
Sinigang fried chicken. Sounds weird until you try it.
I'm in the States, and it's very hard to find sinigang mix, especially during the lockdown. Seafood City, which is where the Filipino grocery is, was really, really long. Longer than the American groceries. So my roommate, he had one little pack of sinigang. I had no other ingredient, and I was going to make fried chicken. I was like, what if I put this together? And it came out weird in the beginning, but as I started cooking more and more, I got used to the ingredients and how to cook it.
Right.
But now, I've not perfected it. I'm like 80% okay with how it's come out now.
Do you think that this cooking could be another profession of yours? Is this something you want to see yourself get into, or just a hobby?
Right now, it's just a hobby. But everything that I try to do, I try to think of like the future of it. I love food more than cooking. I love to eat. Right. I love different kinds of food, and I like experimenting. Like the way I write music is, I like to do different things with it. I would like to do that same theory onto food.
A lot of people don't know this, but if there's one thing that you and I have in common, it's not just our blood, but it's also that I also had this dream many, many years ago to try and make it in Hollywood. And this is the truth. I've never told anyone this story, and not even you. But
No, so I'm interviewing him now.
Yeah, it's going to end up that way because it's something I've never shared because I failed. It's something that I didn't excel in. I tried. I met certain agents. Back in the day, they were agents. The question that everyone's probably asking is, why pursue Hollywood and not the Philippines?
Not a lot of reasons, really. Everybody that I talk to who are there's a bunch of us, who did go to the States and try it out. Some of them went to school. Some of them even tried auditioning. Some of them did songs with other people. You know what I mean? It's happened for a lot of us. And the goal for me is to not become a Bruno Mars. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to be that. What I'm trying to do is, in Manila, everyone told me that when they heard my music, when they heard my albums, the very little people that did, all they said was, you sound very international. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but for me, I took it as like, okay, I understand completely what you're saying. So what I wanted to do, instead of become like the next Bruno Mars, is I wanted to show these American producers and people that we're not just copying you guys. We're actually really good at what we do. I know that a lot of Filipino people love watching K-pop, right? When I worked at Mix, people would get mad at me because I would say the name of the artists wrong in Korean, and I would be like, dude, what about the Filipino singers? Why are you watching their stuff? And they're very good, right? So my whole point is Korea's done it, and I think we're better than them. You know what I mean? In every aspect, like singing, dancing, and bands, we can do it. But we're parang like we're stuck lang in Manila. We're stuck in the Philippines. Some of us will venture into some Asian countries, but we can totally make it here. And what I don't understand is why we don't just go like full force on it. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to show these producers that I'm okay. I can do this with you, but there are people back home who are much better who you can also call. So I'm trying to open that little door so that they can call us and bring us there, and then they can call us something. They can call us Filipino music. They can call us OPM. So
Right.
that's the big goal, really.
Actually, the career path that I wanted here in America was the kind or similar to what Lea Salonga did for the Philippines by putting us on the map. When it comes to Filipino talent, there's a lot of Filipino talent I've spoken with, and they have nothing but great things to say about you. In fact, one of the people you've worked with a lot, that's JR. And JR has a question for you. JR wants to know, where did you learn how to play dope-ass guitar? Does it sound like JR? It's really his question.
It kind of sounds like Jay.
Where did you learn how to play dope-ass guitar?
It's probably the same way he learned how to sing the way he does. He practiced. I wasn't good when I started. This wasn't like those sustagen babies na, I got it, playing classical music. I fell in love with the instrument. I've always loved music. So everything that I did, playing toys, playing video games, I would like hum it with my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
I would hum the theme song when I'd watch movies.
I remember.
If I watched a scary movie with you guys and I closed my eyes, I'm still listening to the track.
Why the guitar? Why not the piano? Why not the drums? Why not?
The real answer for the guitar is because I was lazy. We went to school. We went to school in Learning Child. You know that. And the music class there, you had to pick. There was a choice. You had to pick either theory, which was yuck numbers, and what is a key? I don't want to do that. Voice, nope, because if I picked that, I knew you and mom would be like, oh my goodness, he can sing. So I said no. And then there's piano, which was, oh, it's so big. I don't want to learn something
Can't
that
bring
big.
it around.
Right? And no, it's just and like, oh, I don't want to read notes. And then there was the guitar, which I thought I could probably be like a rock star. But I played it, and it was classical music that we had to learn, and I fell in love with it.
Now he's, of course, he like many other musicians and singers and performers are like in the Philippines, they really they can't really place your genre of music or your style. Some say it's the blues. Some say they compare you to the John Mayer of before. I mean, what do you think your music is?
Well, firstly, I don't think I'm the John Mayer of the Philippines. I think that blessing goes to Barbie. The blessing goes to Julianne. What I tell a lot of people, it's probably alternative rock because it's not heavy. You know, I can go soft, I can go loud. I also do folk, so it's those are the three genres I like to go around on: rock, blues, and then folk.
What was the? Can you play a little bit of the very first song you wrote?
I haven't done this in forever. You, my attention's on you. It's like you're the sun and all my world gravitates around you, and you bring sunlight to my night, and the warmth I feel from you turns this world into life, and I seem like a fool over this time. I know that my pride's on the line, so please take my heart and my soul. We'll sway in threes. Oh, my love, would you dance with me?
When did you know you wanted to be in the limelight? I mean, I used to put you on my desk during Martin After Dark, or Mom and I would pull you up on stage and sing with you, or just show you off to the people. When in those younger years did you say, this is what I want to do?
I think it's after I started liking to write music. After I started to like play something, and then I'd be like, oh, I've never heard that before. And then I continue and finish that thought, but it never becomes a song. I enjoyed that. And a lot of the people I love listening to who are writers, I see how much fun they do it. You know, it's people are watching them because they wrote this one thing, and that's what I like. So I would like to see that happen for me. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yes, of course it does. Now, in writing songs, though, you have to have lived a little or have experienced a lot. But because when I hear your songs, if I were to dissect your songs, it sounds like an older composer.
I listen to a lot of old people, so I'm inspired by old writers. And some of those writers are music score. John Williams is on that list. He doesn't write words. You know what I mean? Dave Matthews is old. I also like Kenny Loggins. I know you do. Mm-hmm. You know, David Foster, that's because of you. And I love them because they write with other people, and they don't write just like, you know, for chords. They really tell a story, and I love the storytelling part. And the sad part is, the longer that I'm here, I'm learning that I need to do less.
Well, this is where you are. This is where you are now. But if you had a choice, Robin, what era, what generation, or what year would you have wanted to be born a singer? When was that time of when music was music for you?
For me, 60s and the 80s. 60s and the 80s. 60s because that's when rock was prominent. 80s because that's when music got really fun. There was the funk, and then there was the A1, you know, the disco part. Those are the best. And now, even now, the music nowadays sound like the 80s, right? We're going through it again. But those are my two favorite eras of music. Even the way they all dressed, the way they all presented themselves, and the people came to the shows. There were no phones, you know, there were no chairs. No, I mean, you know, you watch nowadays, they're all on their phone. Some band members, some singers, they're like, please put your iPad down. You imagine holding an iPad at a concert.
Yeah, I believe.
But that's today, which is totally fine. And we're going to have to get used to that because of all of this. Look at us talking now. We're looking at essentially a laptop or something.
That's right.
I don't know what you're using.
What's the music you won't play?
Oh, the loud stuff. I know that whenever a Filipino show asks me to do stuff, or when I used to guest in Manila, I would pick my softest, slowest songs. But I'm pretty loud. Like when people watch me, some of your fans when they come, "Wow, Robin, we're so excited to watch you. We tell you that hi." Those people, they'll come into my show and they'll be like, "What was that?" I'm like, "Well, that's really how I sound. You just, sorry."
Give us a progress report of where you are now. Who have you been collaborating with? What have you been doing musically there in Los Angeles?
Well, it's been hard to collaborate. It's happening. It's happening. I've become friends with, well, firstly, the Filipino side of it, the intro voice. They're very good friends of mine. Paco Chaga has been taking care of me, and so has
It's a great guy.
JJ
Thank
and
you,
Jonathan.
Paco.
Those and Vic. I'm not gonna forget you, Vic. Those guys have they took care of me when I got here. I also became friends of with Bowie Meneses from Parokya ni Edgar. With Paco and Bowie, we toured a bit, and that was a lot of fun. We did that last October before all this happened. We went to Vegas, here, San Francisco, and New York. Bowie and I and Melody from Sugar Hiccup and Wolf Hemora from Wolfgang. We also started a band called The Melodies, and we went to New York before all of this happened. So we did a bunch of music there, but that's all band stuff. A lot of Filipino people watch this. I've become friends with DJ Rocky Rock, who, if you all remember him, he's the DJ in the Bebot music video of Apple.
Mhm.
He helped scratch, he helped write. He's one of the writers in that song. We became friends, and we were working on stuff together. So that's cool. I don't know if I can play any of the stuff, not because I don't want to, because I don't remember it. I didn't write it down. It's in this laptop. I don't know if I can turn it on. And from him, I'm meeting a lot of other people. I'm meeting a lot of other people from
Why you
music side of
gotta
California.
be so rude?
I met Mr. Mike. What's the name? Mike. Let me get his name right. His last name always slips my mind.
And he is the composer and guitar player of.
Rude, the song. He's the guitarist of Magic. He lives down the street from all of us, and we might have a song together soon. We don't know yet. We were just jamming. We jammed.
Can you
and
play a little?
I can't because
You can't.
I'm trying to respect the fact that in the States it'll be 50-50, and I didn't ask for his permission.
How does it feel that someone international like this gentleman
The thing is,
noticed your music? Tell them
he
the
didn't-
story.
he has
heard
never
you.
heard. He has never heard my music. The way it was is we all met at Mr. Rocky Rock's house in his apartment. We were just having dinner. Rocky Rock cooked for us, but there were instruments and I played something, and then he started singing. So he's never heard my stuff. So to answer your question properly, all these artists that we look up to and these guys who we call successful, they're just like us. They're just working different from all of us. You know what I mean? They're working just as hard. They're in different places, and they're normal people. They will enjoy our music. That's why for like everyone who writes in Manila, who tries so hard to copy a song like Rude, you didn't have to write it like that. You could have just written a
Right.
song, and
Right.
the actual guy from Rude will still appreciate the way you play, because it's not about the business side. Sometimes it is. Most of the time it is, but when it comes to just good music, just make good music. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be insane. It doesn't have to be a copycat. It just has to be you and what you know, and just adding your flavor to things and trusting it, really.
Well, the good news is you're living the dream, because these are the people that you've listened to or that you've maybe learned from. And now that you get to be even rubbing elbows with some of these people, so all of us, I speak for everyone, especially your mother and I, we're so proud of what you're doing. But just know the Philippines is there for you anytime you need it.
Manila
That's the
is
best
always
thing
home
about-
for me. I'll go home. I'm probably gonna go home after all of this, or when this gets to a certain point, because Manila is I really wanted to make it big in Manila. You know what I mean? I wanted to really follow you, Mom, Lolo, and Lola, and their parents. I wanted to follow all of you guys in Manila.
Mhm.
But when I have 3 albums, and a lot of people don't even know that I have 1 album. a lot of the first song that I sang for you guys, that's my first single ever as Robin and Rem.
Mhm.
And I was competing against Daniel Padilla. Good luck. We were both nominated for Best New Artist. I'm like, well, should I even go?
I know.
That's not even. That's not
Well,
even. I came
in
for the
showbiz,
food.
it's all timing, Robin. You know that.
It's
And sometimes
absolutely all timing.
it takes
But
slow for some people, and some people they get it
absolutely.
overnight. Yeah.
But I also it's not just I could have waited for the time to come out and be big and all that. But I also the bigger passion from why I wanted to be here is because I really believe in all of us. I believe that OPM is incredible, but there's something that where that all of the people in OPM are scared of, and I think it's change. I think it's just a little bit of progress because we're all still singing songs from your era, which is not bad, but we have to. I think we have to evolve somehow, and that's why we have Four of Spades and Ben, and they're doing old genres. Ben is doing funk rock, and I'm sorry, Four of Spades is doing funk rock, and Ben is doing folk. Those are very, very old genres, but it's what's popular now around the world.
And it works. And
It's working. And it's working because they don't care. Like they're just writing good music. They don't want to sound like whoever. Actually, Ben also goes onto the list of John Mayer in the Philippines for me. So they make beautiful music. I'm a huge fan.
I have to agree with you there. I'm a huge fan. Now let's talk about family. Maybe some people don't know it from your perspective, because I constantly tell people about what a fun what the fun times we've had as a family, and we still have fun times. Can you remember a happy moment that you'd like to share with us?
Baguio.
Why? Don't tell me the Baguio story.
Do you want me to tell you the Baguio story?
No, is that the same one, the Baguio story?
Exactly.
That's the same one?
You said road trip, I said Baguio, you put it together. But that was a fun trip. Every Christmas we used to.
They don't want to know. They don't want to know that.
I'll stop. I'll stop when I need to stop.
They don't want to know that.
But they'll never forget it. You asked memorable.
They're dying to know now.
They're dying
People
to know now.
Dying to know now.
It's either that or Outback, and we're not going there.
Here's a lesson learned, and this is all I'm going to say. Never feed your children before going down the zigzag. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, when it comes to your brother Ram, do you think that there was ever any favoritism?
No, I was the best.
Yeah, you were the favored one, right?
Yes, absolutely.
You have the most pictures. You know that. Ram is kulang sa pictures.
Just kidding. It's because I would hold him down. You have no idea. Stay there.
What are your fondest memories with Ram? Now, you guys are inseparable. You can joke all you want. What makes him a good person? What do you know about Ram that you could brag about?
Ram is a good person. Like from me and him, I think he's the nicer one. He's the more sincere one. He's the more honest one. He's the one who really told the truth. Ram will be like, oh, it'll take a while, but he'll tell you who told you the truth. But he's the most genuine person from all of us, really. He's always there for everybody. Just no one really goes up to him because they don't really talk to him. But the second you talk to him and you need someone to call, he's 100%. Like, I'm not even joking. He's 100% going to pick up the phone, and you can tell him about anything.
But did you ever have fights with him? Is there ever a time that you guys had a long feud?
We've had fights, but they ended as fast as they started, because we don't talk like that. He has a temper, you know that. When he loses the temper, he says sorry. After he says sorry, we're done. Like, we don't even bring it up anymore. Yeah, I think he knows me more than a lot of other people know me, because I just talk, but I don't know if he's listening. I don't know if he hears it. He probably does.
Not. All I know is he totally admires you and he adores everything you do. He's always idolized you. How did you guys handle the attention that you got?
It's good that you are finally asking me this question, because I tell every single person, because we didn't go to a Filipino school in the beginning, we didn't know how famous you guys were. We didn't know what it meant to fill up Ultra at the time, or Araneta. We didn't know. We just thought a sold-out concert was Friday for you guys. So I only realized that you guys were the biggest deal when I went to the Filipino school, Learning Child. That's because every single person there was, that was the height of the the annulment, so they kept asking me questions. But it was also like they were when you guys came in for our interview, right? They were showing us around. Man, there was and I was like, what the heck why is everyone following us? Didn't happen in the international school because they didn't know, they didn't know like that. So after that, I realized, wow, but not at the beginning. I didn't understand it in the beginning because it's what we were born into,
Right. I wondered, and I'm sure the people that are watching are also wondering, did you and Rem understand what was going on? You mentioned it earlier during the time that your mom and I were separating, and it became such a public a big deal to the public. And we tried to shield you and Ram away from the press. There were people camping out in front of your school in the gate. We had to keep you home from school. Did you understand all of this that was going on around you, or did you just not care?
I think we did. I mean, it's that went beyond being what we are as in the public eye. It's still a family breaking up, so we did feel it. We obviously felt it. I also understand that also helped with the understanding of how big you guys were in the Philippines and all over the world.
Your mother did such a great job raising both of you. Did you ever see a time that mom was struggling, that she couldn't be both mom and dad for you during? This is hard for me to ask you these questions, but that's what a good host would ask.
That's what this show is. I know. This is the weird show.
Was it hard? Did you see her struggling? Did you?
The only time I saw her struggling, and she didn't even think she was struggling because she did great. Like you both did your part, and she did such a wonderful job. But the first time I knew that she was really trying, whenever you guys would tour the States, we'd give you a list of the things we wanted. And I'm a toy buff. Ram and I are toy buffs. We're geeks on the inside. And we'd ask we'd ask our dad to buy specific toy things. So mom wanted to try to be that. And I think she went to Europe. We said, Mom, please, if you find any Star Wars toys, please get some. And she got the characters, but they were all the fake ones. They were all like super big. They were colored a different color. But she came home with them, and Ram and I, we the second we saw it, we were like, she's really trying. So let's open it. We didn't even talk to each other. We were like, okay.
Did you have to make Ram understand why Dad was not in the house?
I mean, I think that's the best thing about all of it is we understood. We were never mad. Ram and I were never really mad at it.
Well, you know what helped the situation is your mom never spoke ill of me.
No, that's the thing. You both never did that.
We never did,
and that's why we weren't mad. Ram and I, we were like, okay, this is happening. Grow up, grow from it.
And then, can you imagine? Remember last Christmas? Can you imagine you, Ram, Mommy and Daddy, and Tita Katrina and Santino?
Yeah.
That tells the whole story right there. I think it was one of our best Christmases ever because we went full circle.
I know.
Full circle.
We really did.
All right, random questions. You ready?
Yes. Do I have to answer this quick or?
If I was Boy Bunda, yes, but I'm not Boy Bunda.
But you're not.
So take your time. Justin Bieber or Taylor Swift?
Bieber.
Why?
Wow, I don't know. I don't know why I said that. In my head, I was like, wow, I should have said Taylor Swift because I like one song that Justin has, and I don't like a lot of Taylor Swift songs.
What is the most routine thing that you do?
I think it's crack my back.
Yeah, you know what?
Morning before I sleep.
Crack, right?
And I hit 30 and now it's terrible.
On a first date with a woman, of course, would you kiss on the first date or wait to kiss on 3 months later?
3 months?
I know,
Don't
right?
Both, but 3 months is too long. But honestly...
How about on the first date?
I wouldn't, but, like, if they're having a good time, then why not?
So you would not have thought this girl to be too fast because she allowed you to kiss her on the first date.
Yeah, because like that is the goal for me, but I'm not gonna force it on her.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I'm ready when you're ready.
Got it.
Me asking you on this date means I'm ready. Now you tell me when you're ready with your mouth.
What's the worst pain you've ever experienced?
Oh man, that's easy. I'm a guy.
Oh, circumcision?
No, I don't remember that.
What were you going to say? The worst pain you've
Getting
ever
kicked in the
experienced?
nuts. That's painful.
Oh, kicked in the nuts.
See, that's painful.
You've been kicked in the nuts?
Yeah, Ram's done it because I did it to him first.
Well,
But I did it to him gently, which I think hurts more. But he was so
Right.
mad. He went full force with his foot. I was like, damn.
city or countryside?
Countryside.
What's a lie you've told that you don't regret telling?
That's a good question. I don't know. I regret all of them.
You regret all your lies?
Lying is bad.
But son, I've never heard, I don't, and this is the honest to goodness truth, I don't ever remember you lying.
Because I try not to.
Talking about lies and consequences, I know that there's a song that you wrote that took you many years to write, or at least show the world, that has something to do with mom and my situation.
Oh, that song. Look around. Tell me what you see. Is this love? Would you please tell me? It's a fragile world we're stepping on. While everything else falls apart, oh, love stays strong. With all these shattered dreams and broken hearts, while everything else falls apart, oh, love stays strong. Oh, love will not fail you. Everything else will follow. Love, be strong. Oh, Lord, love will not fail you. Everything else will fall, but love stays strong.
That's beautiful. And were you trying to tell mom and dad to stay strong, or were you telling yourself?
I didn't even write it for you guys.
Oh, I thought you wrote it for us.
No, the video is you guys. Everyone wants to put their own personal situations in a song, right? I try very hard, especially now with even now I'm trying to not even say she a lot. You know what I mean? I want the songs to all be universal. I want everyone to connect to it. So I'll put very little about what I'm going through in it, but I really want it to be for a lot of people. And I wrote the song because someone had passed away for someone. My friend had lost her fiance, so I wrote it for that person because it was such a devastating moment. The person was murdered. And when I showed this song to Luigi, my cousin, your nephew,
He used the video.
he had the best idea, and he used everything we just talked about in the video. And even when this song came out, 8 years ago, I had people message me saying I wanted to commit suicide, but I heard this, and I felt really, really good about myself. I felt good about the song because I didn't mean for that to happen. You know, I wanted to just write a song, and from the video, from you listening to it and putting you feeling like it's for you and how I was with you and mom.
Right.
That's still fair. I mean, I'm sure that's in there also. Like I've been through pain, and that was very painful, but I was trying to write this for someone in someone else's experience.
Well, that's the best when you can change someone's life with your songs, with your melody, with your lyrics. That's magic. If you could write yourself, your younger self, a letter, a little note, what would that note say?
What would I say to myself? I would say to myself to just, like what you do. And I'll say it like this. When I came up with my first album, it didn't do very well. I had 2 songs come out of it, and I toured with my band, and we were like, that's not really working. Maybe we should change the genre completely. Maybe we should try something else. And then we did one show in Hong Kong, and I didn't understand why they wanted us to be the main act, but they did. Every song was my song, and it was the loud ones. Everybody was dancing, and everybody had a good time. They were drinking, and they were trying to sing along. The sound guy even left the booth to come stand in front to enjoy. On the second song, I turned around to the band because I tell them I don't write a set list. I tell them what it is.
Right, you shout it
I went
out.
to the back, and instead of telling them what song, I go, guys, we're not doing anything wrong. And they got so excited. They were so happy about it because the whole time I thought we were doing something wrong.
Right.
So what I would tell myself as a kid is trust yourself more than you would, because my whole point is to try to be different and try to be original. And you can't be original if you tend to lean towards the norm. You know what I mean?
That's right.
If you're gonna be original, go for it. Like, you're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna make bad songs, but keep at it, because
Just keep going.
One day you're gonna get a good one, and then you'll be fine.
Your mother also has questions for you, okay?
You asked her.
Yes, and these are the questions she has for you. Aside from music, what else do you see yourself excel in?
That's what I'm trying to find out. Everything that I wanted to do, I'd be like, I don't have to be a star. I could be in the studio. I could be a musician. Whatever it is, it has to be with music, because I really like making the music. I like playing. I like talking about it.
What's the one thing, Robin? What's the one thing you've always wanted to ask me?
I don't know. What would I ask you? I don't know. That's a good question. Come back to it.
Being your father and being the host of ANC Conversations on this day, anyway, I know the frustrations of a musician, especially now that there's no work to have out there to jam the way you're used to. Try and find ways to earn, and trying to find ways to keep our music fresh and inspiring to change lives. And that is my wish for you, son, that you find your calling. I was so worried about you and your brother Santino, and it was just so hard. You just want to go out into the screen and embrace your children. It's the hardest thing to do, to be this far away from you and not be able to hold you and embrace you. It's the hardest thing.
Yeah,
Wait,
I mean,
wait. Hold on.
It must
It's
be
the
hard.
hardest thing.
It's the hardest thing. Where are you going? I think he went to the bathroom. Oh, he didn't go to the bathroom. He's actually.
It's so hard. It's so hard to not be able to embrace your children during this new normal.
6 feet.
6 feet.
6 feet.
Well, put our feet together. It's 4 feet.
Good Lord.
Let's sing for them. Come on. And they said it couldn't be done. Oh, my love, my darling, I've hungered for your touch a long, lonely time. And time goes by so slowly, and time can do so much on you. Still I need your love, Godspeed, your love. can see, music is in the family. It's in the genes. And Robin has truly taken this music to the next level. Now, being, of course, the son of the concert queen and the concert king is really such a big responsibility. But I'm so proud of the fact that Robin is out to try and make a name for himself. Chasing his dreams, I could not be prouder of not just the artist and the musician that he has become, but for the man that he is. On behalf of your family and your country, Robin, we're proud of you, we're cheering for you, and we're here for you no matter what happens. God bless you, Robin. I love you. This is Mark NIEVERA. This is ANC Conversations. See you at the next.